What's up, y'all? My name is Daniel. I am one half of the Heart in the Fight team. I will be without my co-host Omar for this segment. If you're not familiar with our content, we have historically profiled fighters and broken down UFC and Bellator events. If you haven't checked out our last two UFC breakdowns, you would know that my assessments have been on point. They've actually matched up with the ways that the fight eventually turned out. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but what it is clear is that I can pick up on fighter tendencies. Now we figure since I'm on a roll, why not break down Streetbeefs fights? Where one, I can identify some of the strengths of each fighter, and then two, identify some of the X factors that could play a major role in the fight. My intentions are not to predict the outcome. The fighters will do that for themselves. However, my goal is to help you see the brilliance of these fighters so that you can appreciate the talents that they bring to the cage. With that said, we are going to announce our first breakdown, and it's going to be taking place on November 7th at the main Streetbeefs branch, and it will be champion versus champion, Baby Hulk versus Turk. Now, let's take a closer look at Baby Hulk and his weapons of choice. Weapon number 1. Baby Hulk likes to compress space, so he likes to be at the center of the cage. If it were basketball, he likes to start at the half-court line so that he gives his opponent less space to work with. He applies lots of pressure and forces the action. He wants to close the distance. And you can see it a lot in these fights. You see it here on Heart of Stone. He is taking up majority of the space. Even in this one, he runs all the way over to the other side so that he doesn't give Heart of Stone a lot of space to work with. By using all that pressure, he sets up his second weapon, which is defense. He waits for you to miss or come within range so that he can press you against defense. Even if you clinch up with him in the middle of the ring, what he does is he will use his knees, he will use anything he can to push you against defense. As soon as you miss, get you out of position, he can blitz in, put you on the fence so that he can take you right down. He uses his underhooks, props you up, and then level changes to pull the legs out from under his opponent. As you see right here, dumps him down. Weapon number 3. He loves to live in this crouch position so he can throw that overhand right, or even the overhand left. He gives you this impression that he might shoot on you, so you lower your level, and then as soon as you come within striking range, he throws the overhand. Weapon number 4. Once the clinch is broken, he swings off the break. The clinch brings him within striking range, and so he utilizes that close space, that distance, to strike. Weapon number 5 is his ground and pound. Once he has it on the ground, he is relentless. If you look at this against Ace, he's giving him no time to breathe. And you see here, Ace is getting up, but he even follows him up to his feet. Right? He is emptying everything out. You see this against Viking. He is throwing every single thing that he has against him. Whether you see him switching positions, using different strikes. Heart of Stone the same way, pins him to the ground and just goes ham. Now let's move over to Turk. Weapon number 1, his rangefinder, which is his jab. And he's not using it like a traditional jab where he's trying to land. He's using his jab as a way to gauge distance, like a measuring stick. He pumps it out pretty often so that he can set up his right hand right there. See? So for him, it's just let me gauge distance, let me figure out where my opponent is so that I can throw my weapon number 2, which is his right hand. If you look at all his fights, he's doing that very same thing. Gauges with his left hand, throws his right. Boom, right there. You see it go right down the middle. He commits a lot of his power. He commits to his right hand. That he favors it in all his fights. Weapon number 3. He likes to switch stances so that he can lead off with his dominant hand. You see it here, where he has his right hand forward. It brings him closer to his opponent. He can tee off faster. And he switches from left to right, as you can see. By doing this, it varies his attack. He no longer has to set up his right hand. He's leading with his right hand. Weapon number 4. the guillotine choke. As soon as you close distance, he locks in the choke immediately. It happens every single fight. As soon as you shoot in on him like this, he locks it in. And then you try to pick him up, he brings you down with choke in hand. Weapon number 5. Pressure. Pressure, pressure, pressure. He likes to bring chaos. He actually thrives in chaos. And so what he does is he forces the action. He makes you make mistakes or get into this fire brawl so that he can use his length, but also disguise his body shot. You see that? As soon as you start guarding the top, he starts throwing the body. But he just pressure, doesn't allow you to breathe. He forces you to gas out, make mistakes so that he can use his length to put you at the end of his punches and then put you right down. By kicking up this chaotic pace, he forces guys to quit, whether that's to the body or to the head, so that you eventually drop. When I think about the X factor, it's got to be distance. Can Baby Hulk close the distance? Can he pin Turk against the gate and force him to wrestle, force him to grapple with him so that Baby Hulk can prop you up and then scoop both your legs and put you down? Because that is where Baby Hulk thrives. Is once you get down there, it is his world. And so Turk is going to need distance so that he doesn't become a victim of that kind of assault. And so can Turk move around the ring and keep Baby Hulk at the end of his punches? Because that's where Turk thrives. Can Turk utilize the open space to make sure that Baby Hulk doesn't close the distance, doesn't get a hand on him, doesn't clinch the body, so that he can keep Baby Hulk at the end of his punches? Because we know, as we see in the film, Turk can hurt you. Can Baby Hulk close the distance, or can Turk extend the distance? And that will determine the fight. Hopefully you were able to learn something from this breakdown of the fight. If you like what you heard, like what you saw, please subscribe to the channel. To purchase Heart in the Fight merchandise, go to the link at the bottom to our Teespring store. And you can also donate to our Patreon page. We always appreciate the support. Until we see you next time, dig deep and double down on your own commitments to your life.